Hello and welcome to my video. If you're new here, my husband, dog and I recently moved from Sydney to our 100-acre property in Tasmania. I hope you will join us as we discover the most beautiful parts of Tasmania, learn to live in a tiny house and a large property, and eventually start building our house. You want to come and have a cuddle now? I'm sorry I had to kick you out.
All right, do you want to hop up?
Want to come up?
Toffee. No, you're going to have a sulk, are you?
All right, so hello.
Hello.
Toffee's over there. She's not talking to us because I kicked her off. This is her spot. It's the beginning of spring here, and if you know us, you know that we have lived in a tiny bus home for the last 7 months. So
6 months?
we moved here in March. April, May, June, July, August, September. 6 months. So we've lived here in the tiny bus home for 6 months.
It's been over winter.
And that's been over winter. So I thought I'd do a little recap of how it went this winter in the tiny bus home. And Luke has agreed to be in this one and chatting.
Not much chatting, but...
So we've gone through it and did some notes. Things we can talk about. First thoughts? It was fine.
It's been fine.
It's been fine. Yeah, we've had a lot of people in the area ask, well, I don't know about you. You probably don't talk to people so much. I've had a few people ask, oh, how'd you go last night? Or, how's it going in the bus? Because, you must be feeling it. It's been fine. It's not, I don't know. It's warm. Especially since we've been down here. When we were at the top, we were facing south, so we didn't have the sun warming up the bus during the day. I think since we've been here, we've definitely felt warmer. Sometimes too warm. We have to open the windows.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. There's been quite a lot of days where we had the bus opened up to let the breeze through.
Yeah,
because it gets too warm in here.
3 walls out of our 4 walls are fully windowed, basically, almost.
Yeah,
so.
full glass. Yeah.
Yeah, the diesel heater works really well. So with not being cold too many nights.
No, it's been. I don't know. There's some nights where it's a bit cooler, but yeah, turn the heater up a click or throw an extra blanket on. But
and we also bought an electric blanket, so if we do wake up in the middle of the night and it's cold, we can just turn that on. Toffee's probably feels it the most, but she is also the one nearest to the heater. The heater comes out of that and she's right there, whereas we're all the way over there. The coldest we've felt is when we've run out of diesel in the middle of the night. That's our fault. We should have checked it. It happens. It's happened a couple times.
Yeah, we use around 2.5 litres of diesel per night. It's a 10-litre tank in there, so after the third night or so, you'd want to fill it up.
Yeah, we
sometimes we forget which day it was.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll go a few nights and then realise we haven't done it, sort of thing. We have gone a few nights now without using it. Did we use it on the night before last night?
I think we did, but we didn't really need it.
Yeah. But I think if you don't count that one, it was 3 or 4 nights in a row. Well, it's been about 4 nights. We didn't use it last night. So, we're feeling the difference in temperature. We did have an issue with the diesel heater. Luke can probably talk about that more. It wasn't working as well.
Yeah, we had a few days where the heater just didn't seem to be getting as hot as it usually does. And it would occasionally turn itself off if you tried to turn the heat up. Had a look at it. It turned out that the fuel filter was clogged. It was like a jelly in there, so there must have been some water in the fuel tank at some point. Just gave that a clean out and it came back to running perfectly. So it was an easy fix.
Yeah, thank goodness. Oh, we also we might move the vent. So the vent at the moment goes under the couch. It's just right near where Luke is sitting. We might move it to the front of the cabinet in the kitchen so that we might be a little bit warmer in the bedroom next winter. And we probably would use less fuel.
Yeah, I think just putting it out the front into the hallway is going to make it easier to push the heat throughout the bus instead of just going down to the front and then eventually having heat work its way through. Because at the moment the hot air blows under the couch, hits the curtains, and then sort of goes onto toffee. And
I'm sure she loves it.
and having the heat come out through the under the kitchen counter, it should be able to disperse it a bit easier.
Toffee has been loving it. She has a blanket that I bought her. It's a fluffy fabric and she just sort of tucks herself in there. She loves her blanket. She does get a bit cold because she'll move around during the night and lose her blanket. So if Luke or I gets up to pee in the middle of the night, we'll just sort of tuck her back in. I think she's been fine.
She does like the cold outside. When her bowl has been frozen, she'll take the ice out and play with it as a toy and then eat it. So she does like the cold weather better.
Well, I mean, we think she's an Irish Wolfhound and a German Shepherd crossed with other stuff. So generally colder climates. She did not like the heat in Western Sydney. Neither did we. So, which is why we're here. Well, one of the reasons. So yeah, I think it's I think she loves it. I mean, she's not complaining about the whole living situation, that's for sure. Having said all that, it has been a fairly mild winter here. We've not had that many frosts. We've had, what, I'd say maybe 10 to 15 frosts.
Yeah, maybe not even
Not
that.
even that.
Yeah.
And Toffee's water bowl has been only frozen solid, like had to be broken, the ice, a couple of times, maybe 3 times.
I know of twice.
Yeah. And I think I might have broken it once as well when we were at the top. Fairly mild winter, and everyone has told us that. We've not had too much rain, which would cause other issues for us if it was a lot of rain, like our issues we were having with condensation. We've solved that issue with the dehumidifier, and we've got those damp rids containers in the toilet and one near Luke's side of the bed, just because that seems to be where it's always a little bit more damp, and the toilet's always closed, door's always closed, so that doesn't really get dehumidified.
Probably because it doesn't get as much sun on that side.
Yeah,
So got the mountain on that side.
that's right. So we're facing north. The sun rises in sort of that direction, and sets in that direction. But there is a big mountain there, so it sets earlier for us. But when we go for a drive, we're like, oh no, we don't need our sunnies. and then the sun is like really bright still. So yeah, that's probably, you're pretty right. Never gets dried properly on that side of the bus. So we've seen a lot of improvements with the condensation since we've moved here because the sun comes in more during the day. We've also had the dehumidifier most of the time we've been here. So that, and also we've not needed as much heating because the bus gets sort of warm during the day, whereas sometimes up the top we were needing a bit of heating.
Almost all day. Because we weren't getting much sun in.
Yes, that's right. So depending on the day, we sometimes had it on all day. On low, but still on nonetheless. Okay, the dehumidifier story is, do you want to tell it?
Yeah, so we talked about getting a dehumidifier. My mum had suggested getting one. She's got one at her place and it works really well. And we're like, yep, that makes a lot of sense. Found one on Breville's eBay store, which was a factory refurbished model, and it was about half price, half the retail price. So I'm like, yep, factory refurbished by Breville, sold by Breville. Great, that sounds good.
Yeah, and they guarantee supposedly that it's been checked and it works.
Been tested, yep. So we ordered that. It said 3-day delivery. About 10 days later, it finally arrived. Plugged it in, turned it on, and
it was on for about 2 hours.
I had it on for a while, and I thought, that doesn't sound like the compressor's turning on. And left it on for a few hours, checked, not a drop of water had come out of it. And I'm like...
And it was a humid day. Yeah. It's not like it would have been dry.
So I sent Breville a message and said, hey, we've got this refurbished model, and I've turned it on and off, and I can only hear one relay turning on, which is the fan. I'm pretty sure the compressor doesn't work on it. They replied and said, Oh, okay, yep, no worries. We'll send you a return label. So there was no.
No, we're fighting it. Test this.
Yeah, I would have thought they would have said, "Oh no, we test those things. It's definitely not that.
Yeah.
Let's run some checks." No, straight away they're just like, "Here's a return label. We'll give you your money back."
It makes no sense. I like the idea, not because it was, I mean, as well as it being half price, but I like the idea because it's reusing something that would end up in landfill. I want to encourage that kind of behavior from brands,
Manufacturers,
manufacturers, and stuff like that. Having said that, it has to actually work. Otherwise, what they've done is they've given us, it was free postage to our here. So they paid for the postage to here, and then they've paid for their own postage back, and they got nothing out of it because we got a full refund. So I don't understand why they wouldn't be testing them better and doing it correctly. But anyway, we ended up getting the same one. Did we end up getting it on sale?
Yeah, we've got it on sale at Harvey Norman, so it worked out a bit more expensive, but this one actually works. So it's a bit of a win.
Yeah, it's kind of what you want. We've used the generator maybe 5 times.
Yeah.
Just to top up, not even like we weren't
It's
low.
It's been more when the weather forecast says that it's going to be cloudy for the next 5 days. I'll put the generator on just to make sure we're at 100%, so that if we don't get full charge each day, we're not going to get down to 50% battery after 5 days.
Yeah. We've only made it to 50% battery a few times as well, I think.
So yeah, we've had it on for probably 5 times for half an hour, 40 minutes each of those times.
Yeah.
Realistically, we probably didn't need to have it on. I just like to make sure I had a good safety margin on the batteries.
Yeah.
I'd rather have them more full than risk getting a bit too low.
And also, Luke went away for a few days for work, so I think you put it on before you left, so I didn't have to sort of do it. I think I have started it once, and I had to call Luke. Must have been another time you went away. To call Luke, I'm like, because it's got all the instructions on, like, number 1, this is what you do. Number 2, like, all the steps are on the actual generator. But one of the things that it wanted me to do, but was not obvious, so that's why I called Luke.
The choke isn't labelled for which direction you're meant to have it. You just flick it from wherever it is, flick it the other way, so that bit's not clear.
Yeah. But otherwise, look, it's not nice to have on. It's quite loud, but I don't think it was more than 5 times that we had it on.
Generally, though, we're hitting at least 90-95% battery in the darkest days of winter. By the end of the day of charging. Already at this time of year, we're hitting 100% battery by 10 or 11 in the morning. When we were up the top of the land, we did also have power lines over where we were parked. So I think the solar panels, they take a decent hit if you have any shading on the panels. So I think that if we had the bus down here, we might not have needed the generator at all, potentially, because we do get a lot better solar efficiency without having any shadow at all on the panels.
And I think we would have had more time with the sun above us, because I think that would go over we can see when the sun's setting over the hill, it sort of, the shadow sort of slowly makes its way backwards. So it would have hit us up the top much sooner than it hit us here.
We do get a little bit.
It wouldn't be by much, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, the mountain was blocking us a bit more up there, so
yes,
we get more afternoon sun down here.
That is a better way to say it than the convoluted way I said it, which describes our relationship. You've said already that we've used 2.5 litres on average per day. We worked out how much that was per quarter, I think. Do you remember?
With the average cost of diesel per day and our gas bottles, gas does our hot water and our cooking, we're working out to just under $500 a quarter, but that's only going to be our winter period,
Yes.
and in summer we're not going to be spending any money on the diesel heater, so then it's just our gas bottle for cooking and hot water,
And
which is around about $30 a month on the
yeah,
gas.
that's probably what we were paying. I'm just trying to relate back to Sydney.
In Sydney, it was only electricity in Sydney, so we had electric, hot water, cooking, everything. In winter, we were spending, I think, around about $500 in winter.
And so everyone knows, winter is our cheap time of year because we rarely heated.
Yeah. So in Sydney, it was about $500 in winter, and I think around $800 to $900 in summer because we had the air conditioning running.
And I think one time we even almost made it to $1,000 for the quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's looking like here in the bus, it's going to be costing us around $500 a quarter for winter, and then maybe $100 for the quarter in summer.
Yeah. I don't know if you included petrol in that for the generator, but it wouldn't have been much.
I've only put 10 litres into the generator, and it's still got half a tank.
Yeah, so that's not negligible. Yeah. And we're not going to be using it again, I think.
I woke up one morning as I start work early. It was you couldn't see outside at all. It was very, very dense fog, barely any light coming in. Very strong, dense. Then I looked at the security camera that was still up at the shipping containers at the top of the hill, turned that on, and it was bright sun, lovely day. I'm like, oh. So it's not just foggy; it's foggy in the valley that we're in. So we were under the cloud layer, but our shipping containers were still up above that, getting a nice bit of morning sun.
Which like it's night and day. Well, almost literally night and day. The difference in lighting and everything. We did see a few days when we were at the top where the valley was fully under a cloud.
For watching the fog from the top of the mountain, you see the fog roll in through the valley, and it washes as though it's just water running through. So it comes up one side of the hill and then rolls across to the other, and it flows through the valley.
It's like a very, very slow motion wave. The tide. My sister drove past the property, and she texted me around that same time. She's like, "Are you guys still there? Are you still alive? You've disappeared."
Our cloak has been enabled.
It's a invisibility cloak.
Our invisibility cloak's been turned on. Can't see the bus anymore.
I did find it quite difficult to do washing this winter. I want to put the load of washing on once the sun's up because you need the electricity to power the machine. I also want to get it out and dried in the same day, which is short, very short in winter. I mean, they're not as short as like when we lived in Birmingham. I need to get it washed, which is an hour, then dried, and then a lot of the times the weather just changes over and over again during the day. So it'll be really sunny in the morning. I'll be like, yes, I'm doing a load of washing today. And then by the time it's been in the washing machine and I put it up, it looks like it's going to rain. So that's a bit difficult.
The sun doesn't have a lot of punch to it in winter. It's you can see the sun, but you don't really feel the heat from it.
Yeah.
In summer, very different story though. The sun is there for a very long time, and you can very easily get burnt very very quickly.
Oh my goodness, yes. So the UV levels just fluctuate between summer and winter. Like apparently it gets down to UV1, which I didn't even know was a thing in winter. So you can't get sunburnt. You need you can be out there all day and you should be fine. Whereas in summer you have to reapply sunscreen multiple times a day if you're going to be outside. We'll see how we go in summer, but we may decide to move the bus 90 degrees. 90, no, 180 degrees. Because at the moment you get sun all day, which is lovely. Not complaining, but it might be too much in summer. We'll just have to play it by ear, and we get a different view. Toffee's sleeping and twitching. We've had issues with mold on our hatches, just from the condensation, and not being able to open up the hatches while we were in at the top of the land.
For sake of freezing.
Yeah, because we would freeze, yes. We'll definitely pull them off now that it's the end of winter. Clean the mold off. Whether or not we do this next thing is another story. We could cut them and put perspex down so that there should be light always coming in, and even if there's issues with condensation still, should dry up, should get some light, mulch and grow. It's a low priority.
The only issue with that is in summer it means even more sun coming in.
Yeah. Yes. And like it's carpet, probably for acoustic reasons. I don't know. And I think we just need to rip off that carpet at the very least because it's all where the mold is growing.
Reline it, yeah.
Or reline it, yeah.
So they're a fiberglass shell.
Yeah.
So you'd want to have something on there for sound deadening.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's all I had. Thank you for joining me. I'm usually the one talking. Luke doesn't like to do that. It's starting to get dark in here. The sun's gone behind the mountains, so this is our cue. I think all in all, successful winter.
Yeah. I've had people ask how it's going living in a bus in Tasmania, and I think my quick conclusion to that is I'm happier being in a bus in Tasmania than being in a 4-bedroom house in Sydney.
Yes, me too. Me too. If I can just find some work, I think we'd be in a really good spot. I mean, financially we're fine, but would just be really good.
Yeah, having a second income will get us a bit further down the line to eventually building a house and building a shed and doing all those fun things. Yeah,
exactly, because we can't really borrow on Luke's income alone, and it'd be good to be able to save as well. So yeah. Anyway, we'll get there. But yeah, it's been fine. It's been great. Love the community here. I've met them more than Luke has because Luke works from home. But
I've still met some lovely people and got some good friends out of it already.
Exactly. So. We've made friends very easily. And I think that's harder to do in Sydney because you don't just start up a conversation with someone at the supermarket or whatever it might be, you know. I think that's good. Good. Thank you, darling. Thank you for watching. I'll put my outro in. The usual outro. Oh, can I? Might have to put some footage so you have... Oh, I'll just do it. It's fine. Thank you so much for watching. Well, because normally I put it over just some footage of something, but there's nothing. Like, this is going to be just a talking head.
It's all right. You can always cut this video, put
some footage of us enjoying ourselves.
This audio over a different bit of video.
Look, just in case I don't do it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a like. I upload on Sundays with all sorts of weird and wonderful videos I find interesting, and I hope to see you then. Bye!